So this painting is of Riverside County Courthouse in Riverside, California. This is my hometown, so this is an area I know quite well. Anyway, let's take a closer look. First, I want to show you this painting in its entirety. My grandfather conceived this painting in the year 2000, and this piece was one of multiple versions he did of this scene. To really understand this composition, I need to give this painting a bit of context, and to do that, I must show you the courthouse itself. The Riverside County Courthouse was constructed between 1903 and 1904 and designed by American architect Franklin B. Burnham, and is located in downtown Riverside, California. This is a large building, taking up an entire city block, and exemplifies monumental civic architecture. Artists and photographers alike have been drawn to this building for well over a century. Upon revisiting the painting, observe how the courthouse facade occupies only a modest portion of the overall composition. My grandfather made a rather unconventional decision here. He captured the courthouse from a perspective in which it commands a surprisingly minimal space within the scene. At first glance, one might assume this is to be an architectural piece. However, the majority of the composition is enveloped in lush greenery, which effectively frames the structure. The courthouse occupies less than 1/3 of the canvas, establishing a prominent vertical presence within a wider horizontal landscape. Here is the painting with its saturation entirely reduced, leaving only the tonal value pattern. Tonal value is the most crucial aspect of a painting, as value contrast surpasses any other form of contrast and visual impact. My grandfather skillfully utilized a range of light, mid, and dark values within this composition. The building depicted here is entirely white, yet my grandfather selected a mixture of pigments to impart a warm glow of a late afternoon golden hour ambience. Given the building's white surface, these tones, while warm, remain relatively desaturated. The architectural details are intentionally simplified, and on top of one of the two statues is cropped at the edge of the painting. One of the few art lessons my grandfather shared with me was the importance of cropping the tops of buildings in compositions like this. Now, regarding the surrounding greenery, it's common for art students to perceive leaves and immediately reach for a tube of green paint. Yet pure pigments often lack a natural appearance. In this painting, nearly every color is intentionally desaturated and leans either towards a cooler blue or a yellowish earth tone, never a neutral green. Take, for instance, the palm trees on the left side. They alternate between a desaturated earth tone and a dark greenish gray, created with touches of blue paint. This choice establishes not only a tonal value pattern, but also an interplay of warm and cool shapes. While the tonal values in the palm trees remained fairly consistent, my grandfather achieved contrast by manipulating color temperature. Although there is almost no highly saturated green, you'll find occasionally a small burst of vivid blue, adding a lively accent to the composition. The right side of the painting is almost entirely occupied by a large tree, and when viewed in isolation, it could even resemble an abstract composition. Once again, we see the absence of any highly saturated green. However, my grandfather introduced small areas of high saturation on the lower left, specifically the figures. Since clothing is manufactured, it allows for higher color saturation and distinct value patterns. The inclusion of figures not only adds to these vibrant tones, but also brings the composition to a more human scale. This painting stands as an iconic work by Don O'Neill, capturing the essence of a late afternoon in downtown Riverside. I don't believe my grandfather aimed to create a precise architectural rendering of the Riverside County Courthouse. Instead, he sought to invoke something far greater, a scene that stirs memories of being in downtown Riverside at the end of the day. So that was Riverside County Courthouse. This is a scene my grandfather painted multiple times, and I'll probably revisit it in the future. If you like this painting, go take a look at dononeal.com. The link is in the description. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.